everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Personal Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Julia. Julia, how are you today?
Hi, Jason. I'm doing great, and I'm so excited to be here. It's the last stretch of the year, and I think it's the perfect time to start planning for 2025. How about you? Are you feeling ready for the new year?
Absolutely, Julia. You know, the start of a new year always brings that sense of fresh opportunities and possibilities. And today, we're diving into a topic that's not only timely, but also incredibly important. How to achieve your goals in 2025.
That's right. We've all set goals before, and let's be honest, sticking to them isn't always easy. But this year, we're going to help our listeners set themselves up for success with practical strategies and actionable steps.
Exactly. Whether you're looking to improve your career, health, relationships, or personal growth, this episode is for you. So, grab a notebook, because we're about to break down how you can make 2025 your most successful year yet.
Let's get started.
So, let's start with the big question. Why do goals matter? I mean, Julia, it's easy to say, I want to achieve something, but why is it so important to actually set goals?
Great question, Jason. Goals give us direction and purpose. Imagine driving a car without knowing where you're going. It's the same with life. Without clear goals, we might just drift around, never really achieving what we're capable of.
Exactly. Goals act like a roadmap. They help us focus our energy and resources on what really matters instead of spreading ourselves too thin. And let's face it, life is full of distractions, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about achieving big things. Goals, even small ones, give us a sense of accomplishment. That feeling of checking something off your list, it's so motivating.
Totally agree. And there's actual science behind it. Studies show that people who set clear goals are more likely to succeed because it gives them something to work toward, a way to measure progress.
And it's not just about success either. Setting and achieving goals boosts your confidence. You start believing in yourself more, and that belief is what keeps you moving forward.
Right. But here's the thing. While goals are important, most people struggle to achieve them. Julia, why do you think that happens?
Honestly, I think it's because people either set unrealistic goals or don't have a clear plan. It's like saying, I want to be healthier, but not defining what that actually means or how to get there.
Exactly. That's why today, we'll not only talk about setting goals, but also how to make them achievable and sustainable. Let's dive into some common challenges people face when trying to achieve their goals.
Sounds good. Let's break it down.
All right, let's talk about why so many people struggle to achieve their goals. Julia, I think we've all been there. Setting goals with the best intentions, only to fall off track a few weeks or even days later. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges people face?
Oh, there are plenty. But one of the most common is procrastination. People set a goal, but instead of taking the first step right away, they put it off, thinking, I'll start tomorrow, or next week will be better. And before they know it, months have passed.
Procrastination is such a big one. And I'd add lack of clarity to that list. A lot of people set vague goals like, I want to get fit, or I want to save money. But they don't define what that actually looks like or how to measure progress.
Exactly. Another challenge I see is unrealistic expectations. People aim too high too fast, like saying, I'll lose 20 pounds in a month, or I'll save half my income starting tomorrow. When the results don't come quickly, they get discouraged and give up.
That's so true. And I think another big one is lack of accountability. When you're the only one who knows about your goal, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. But when you share it with someone or have an accountability partner, it's harder to quit.
Right. And let's not forget about distractions. Life is full of them. Work, social media, family obligations. It's easy to let those distractions take over and push your goals to the back burner.
Yeah, distractions are everywhere. And here's one more challenge: fear of failure. A lot of people are so afraid they won't succeed that they never even start. Have you noticed that too?
Absolutely, Jason. It's that inner voice that says, "What if I try and fail?" But the truth is, failure is often part of the journey. You can't learn and grow without it.
Exactly. So, to sum up, procrastination, lack of clarity, unrealistic expectations, lack of accountability, distractions, and fear of failure are some of the biggest hurdles. The good news is, these challenges can all be overcome with the right strategies, which we'll dive into next.
Let's do it. Time to talk about how to set yourself up for success.
Now that we've covered why goals matter and the common challenges, let's focus on the solutions. Julia, one of the best strategies I've found is the SMART goals framework. Have you heard of it?
Of course, Jason. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It's a fantastic way to make your goals clearer and more actionable.
Exactly. Let's break it down for our listeners. The first step is to make your goal specific. Instead of saying, "I want to get healthy," say something like, "I want to lose 10 pounds by eating healthy and exercising regularly." That way, you know exactly what you're working toward.
Right. And the next step is measurable. You need a way to track your progress. For example, if your goal is to read more, you could say, "I'll read one book a month." That's measurable. You can easily see whether you're hitting the target.
Exactly. Then there's achievable. This is where a lot of people trip up. It's great to aim high, but your goal has to be realistic given your time and resources. For instance, running a marathon might be achievable in 6 months, but probably not next week.
Such a good point. The next step is relevant. Your goal should align with your values and long-term objectives. If you're passionate about improving your career, setting a goal to learn a new skill makes more sense than, say, learning to play the guitar, unless that's part of your bigger plan.
And finally, time-bound. Deadlines create urgency. Instead of saying, "I'll save money," set a goal like, "I'll save $500 by the end of March." Having a clear timeline keeps you motivated and focused.
That's the SMART framework in action. But setting SMART goals is just the beginning. What about creating an action plan? I think this is where a lot of people struggle.
Absolutely. Once you have a SMART goal, break it down into smaller, actionable steps. Let's say your goal is to save $500 in 3 months. You can break it into saving around $167 each month, or roughly $40 a week. Smaller steps feel less overwhelming.
Exactly. And don't forget to prioritize. Not all steps are equally important. Focus on the ones that will have the biggest impact first. If your goal is to learn a new skill, maybe start with enrolling in a course before buying all the tools.
Another key tip is consistency. Small, consistent efforts add up over time. For example, if you're trying to exercise regularly, it's better to work out for 20 minutes daily than to go all in for 1 week and then quit.
And celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Rewarding yourself for hitting milestones keeps you motivated. If your goal is to write a book, celebrate after completing each chapter.
Great point, Julia. And one more thing. Stay flexible. Life happens, and sometimes you need to adjust your goals or your timeline. That's okay. The important thing is to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. So, to recap, set SMART goals, create an action plan, stay consistent, prioritize, celebrate your wins, and remain flexible. These steps can make a huge difference.
Exactly. Now, let's move on to some tools and resources that can help you stay on track.
Sounds good. Let's dive into that.
All right. We've talked about setting goals and creating action plans. Now let's discuss some tools and resources that can help you stay on track. Julia, what's your go-to tool for managing your goals?
I'm a huge fan of using a planner, whether it's digital or physical. Writing down your goals and breaking them into daily or weekly tasks makes them feel more achievable. What about you, Jason?
I love using apps. For example, apps like Trello or Asana are great for organizing tasks and setting deadlines. You can even use them to create a visual board for your goals, which is super motivating.
That's a great idea. For those who prefer simplicity, the Notes app on your phone can work too. Sometimes just having a checklist you can update every day is enough.
True. And let's not forget about habit trackers. Apps like Habitica or Streaks are fantastic for tracking daily habits and routines. They even gamify the process, which makes sticking to habits more fun.
Absolutely. And for people who want to improve productivity, using time management tools like the Pomodoro timer can help you focus. Work for 25 minutes, take a short break, and repeat. It's amazing how much you can get done with this method.
That's such a good tip. And if you're someone who likes to reflect and track progress, journaling can be a powerful tool. Writing about your progress and challenges helps you stay connected to your goals.
Yes, and don't underestimate the power of community. Joining a group of like-minded people who share similar goals can provide accountability and encouragement. For example, online forums or local meetups can be great places to connect.
Absolutely. And let's not forget good old-fashioned books and podcasts. There's so much wisdom out there, and learning from others' experiences can be a game changer. Do you have a favorite resource, Julia?
Oh, definitely. I love the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's all about building good habits and breaking bad ones. And for podcasts, The Tim Ferriss Show has some amazing episodes on goal setting and productivity.
Great choices. And for our listeners, don't forget, sometimes just a mentor or coach can be the best resource. Having someone guide you and keep you accountable can make all the difference.
Exactly. So whether you use apps, books, planners, or mentors, the key is to find what works for you and stick to it.
Right. Now that we've covered the tools, let's wrap things up with some final tips to make 2025 the year you achieve your goals.
Sounds perfect. Let's do it.
All right, Julia. We've covered the tools and strategies, but let's face it, staying motivated and resilient is just as important as planning. How do you keep going when things get tough?
Great question, Jason. For me, it's about remembering my why. Why did I set this goal in the first place? If your goal has a deeper meaning or purpose, it's easier to push through challenges.
That's such a good point. Having a strong why acts like a compass when you feel lost. I also find that breaking big goals into smaller wins helps maintain momentum. Each small success gives you a little boost to keep going.
Exactly. And let's not underestimate the power of positive self-talk. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," try saying, "I can figure this out." It shifts your mindset from defeat to determination.
Absolutely. And another tip is to expect setbacks. Goals aren't achieved in a straight line. There will be ups and downs, but resilience is about adapting, learning, and continuing to move forward despite those setbacks.
That's so true. I also think surrounding yourself with supportive people can make a huge difference. When you're feeling low, Having friends, family, or a mentor to encourage you can reignite your motivation.
Yes, the people around you can have such a big impact. And let's not forget celebrating progress. Even if you're not at the finish line yet, acknowledging how far you've come can give you the energy to keep going.
Absolutely. One more thing I'd add is self-care. When you're working toward a goal, it's easy to burn out. Taking care of your physical and mental health, getting enough sleep, eating well, and taking breaks keeps you strong for the long haul.
Such an important point. So, to sum up, stay connected to your why. Break goals into small wins. Use positive self-talk. Expect setbacks. Lean on your support system. Celebrate progress. And practice self-care. These habits build the motivation and resilience you need.
Exactly. With these strategies, you can stay focused and push through even the toughest moments. Now, let's wrap things up with some closing thoughts for our listeners.
Let's do it! Well, we've covered a lot today. Why goals matter, the challenges you might face, practical steps to achieve them, tools to help you stay on track, and how to stay motivated and resilient. Now, it's your turn to take action.
That's right. Think about one goal you want to achieve in 2025. Write it down, make it smart, and start breaking it into smaller, actionable steps. Remember, the journey to success begins with a single step.
And don't just stop there. Share your goal with someone you trust. Maybe a friend, family member, or even us. You can leave a comment below and let us know what you're working on. We'd love to cheer you on.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach more people like you who are on a journey to grow and achieve their dreams.
Absolutely. Let's make 2025 the year you crush your goals. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now, and remember, you've got this.
Julia, this has been such a valuable conversation. I feel inspired, and I hope our listeners do too.
Me too, Jason. Setting and achieving goals isn't always easy, but with the right mindset, tools, and support, anything is possible. 2025 is just around the corner, and it's the perfect time to start fresh.
Absolutely. Remember, the most important step is the first one. Start small, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to dream big.
And don't forget to celebrate the little wins along the way. Progress is progress, no matter how small.
Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the Personal Growth Podcast for more tips and inspiration.
And feel free to share this episode with a friend who could use a little extra motivation. Let's achieve our goals together in 2025.
Can I ask something?
Sure. What's on your mind?
It's about the essay.
The one on modern communication.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
Where exactly?
The beginning.
The introduction.
Yes, I don't know how to start.
Did you pick your angle?
I think so.
What is it?
How phones changed how we talk.
In a good way or bad way?
Both, honestly.
That's a strong approach.
But I don't know how to say it.
Try asking a question.
Like what?
Something that makes people think.
Maybe why do we text more than we talk?
I like that.
It sounds simple though.
Simple is clear.
Then what?
Build on it.
With my opinion.
With your thesis.
Okay, something like phones help us stay connected, but also make us feel distant.
You're close.
Should I be more specific?
Yes, add contrast.
Phones let us talk instantly, but we've lost something in the process.
Much better.
It still feels weird.
First drafts always do.
So it's fine for now.
Absolutely.
I'll fix it later.
That's what editing is for.
What about structure?
After the thesis, go broad to narrow.
Like background first.
Right. Then examples.
Real life ones.
Yes, the more personal, the better.
Even if it's small.
Especially if it's small.
Okay, I have one in mind.
Good. Hold on to it.
I feel a bit better now.
That's the goal.